Here's another one. My pal at Hargreaves Lansdowne went to one of these seminars and they said, why don't you try one of these things that sums up the thing, like a little swoosh, sums up the proposition down the side of the page, yeah? Simple formula to help you make more money. Invest £1,000 plus 2,082.05 extra from the government, 230.76 more for higher rate taxpayers, 521.81 boost on a £1,000 investment. And it was tested against this with exactly the same copy, except for the swoosh down the side. So it's really almost like you looked at it and you decided, you know, were you going to read it or not? So who thinks that A would have beaten B? And who thinks that B would have beaten A? You're not so good this time. But take heart. I got it wrong. I don't know. Only God knows, you know. Of course, you know, the philosopher Wittgenstein, not famed for his jokes, once said, everything in life is perfectly clear afterwards. He said, the trouble, it was being a Scandinavian, he said, the trouble is that life has to be lived forwards. So I certainly got that one wrong. But this one did better. And I'll tell you why. I really can understand afterwards, because I'm a genius. I really can understand, and I'll tell you why, because when you think about, I've been talking about the similarity between the media. Well, the golden rule with an envelope line, for instance, or with a subject line is don't give the whole game away. Yeah? If you give the whole game away, there's no reason for them to open the envelope or read the email or read the ad or watch the commercial. Yeah? So the previous one gave the game away. It gave you either accepted the proposition or you didn't. Joe Sugarman, whom I imagine Ken knows, and is a friend of mine, who is a bit of a genius, once noted that the only purpose of each sentence in a piece of copy was to make people read the next sentence, you know, and it's well worth remembering. I found this in the Philippines. If you've ever been on a diet, here's good news, bad news, and real news, was tested against. Do you turn your head when someone shouts, hey, fatso? So who thinks that A would have beaten B? And who thinks that B would have beaten A? Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. If you don't remember anything more today, just remember this. And I'm just going to say what I said to 300 bloody car dealers the other day. I said, you're all salespeople, aren't you? And they said, yeah. I said, you really think it's smart to be bloody rude to the customer when they come in? Morning, sir, you look a stupid bastard. You're a fat git, you know. That would never work. Huh? And people are just remember, very golden rule, yeah? People are bloody emotional about things. That's something worth remembering. Every time you write a piece of copy, or try and look at a piece of copy, or try and consider the reasons why somebody might or might not buy things, just remember the words of the President of Brazil. Pockets are the most sensitive part of a human being. That's why we need to touch hearts and minds first. Lula da Silva. And you won't do it by saying, hey, fatso. Here's another one. A, exactly the same copy, B. A, B. Who thinks that A would have done better than B? Who thinks that B would have done better than A? Almost invariably, this old-fashioned typewriter face beats a modern face. Almost invariably. Every market I've got people to try it in. If you read what they say in the United States, you know, people who know more about the US than I do, although I go there a lot, I wouldn't go, they still say, try an old-fashioned courier face. Yeah. There are a number of reasons, I think, and I can't, it's certainly easier to read, but The other reason, I think, is it seems more sincere. It seems more sincere. I'm not telling you what will work or what, I'm just saying, try it. This worked for Hargreaves Lansdowne on every single file except one. We are dealing in a business of individuals. We must constantly think we're dealing with individuals, you know. Incidentally, when I asked Alex Davis of Hargreaves Lansdowne, which is the firm that went public for 500 million, I said, well, how long do you follow people up? He just said, till they give in. Here's another one. 3 bingo cards, absolutely free. The copy's identical. The only difference is the layout. Who thinks A would have won? Who thinks B would have won? Who's been listening? Yeah, this was number 1. It did 3.5 times better than A, and B was in between. Here's something else. This is I'm the chairman of a number of companies. The ones that I never go anywhere near do very well. Mine's terrible. This is Bill Fryer Direct. So he got a client to test, send out the same mailing pack to small segments of his list, yeah, each week of the year to see what a difference it made. And that's the difference it made. The best week did 12 times better than the worst week. He also did this on copy length. And the jury is out on copy length, I think, online. I think I've never seen offline, I've never seen in ordinary media, I've never seen short copy making the same proposition do as well as long copy. And judging by the 56-page landing page that Gary Bencivenga put together to sell his $5,000 seminar, I suspect the same thing applies there. The trouble is, of course, it's very difficult to write long copy. To me, the best advice that anybody ever gave on the subject of how you should market was this man. He is the man who built up Sears Roebuck to become the world's biggest retailer. And this is what he said. My ambition is to stand on both sides of the counter at once. And I think you will make more money and be more successful the more time you spend trying to be simultaneously in your own mind and in your customers. There are obviously 2 kinds of tests, look before you leap and compare. The ones I showed were compare, but I think more money is lost by people who do not look before they leap than anything else.